obviously, Man United played last night. We were going to start with them, but the Chelsea news broke, and we lost to Real Madrid. Of course, the meltdowns ensue. Onana's being clipped up, but goals are important to Man United, and there was some devastating news first thing this morning that Højlund had agreed personal terms with PSG, but as ever, rivals didn't read the full article that stated he's also agreed terms with Man United. There is preference. United are pushing on with the deal, and it's pretty imminent and should happen soon. Are you excited about that, Staffy?
After watching yesterday's game, I'm tired of watching nineless football. And when I say nineless, it's because we don't have a striker. Yes, Rashford is not a striker. Sorry to disappoint anyone who believed in him playing in a striker position. Even when Sancho plays in a false nine, everyone knows I like Sancho, but even that is not good enough still throughout the season.
Stinker yesterday.
Who?
So Sancho, I don't know what happened to that guy.
Sancho threw a stinker yesterday. Sometimes I don't understand what you guys watch. What did this guy do yesterday? He came on, he linked up the play a few times with Donny, almost had a good shot. But
so many bad touches, so many bad. I was seeing
so the one guy,
so many bad touches out of position.
This is why I sit here and defend him a lot. The one guy who comes on and actually asks for the ball. He was going deep, asking for the ball, linking up the play every time he got the ball. One of the least wasteful players that we had yesterday, and all of a sudden people think he was bad.
Did you say Sancho was the least wasteful player? Did you say he was the least wasteful?
He was one of the least wasteful players yesterday. Yes.
Nah. I don't know what you're watching. I watched him.
I don't know what you're watching. I'm gonna be very honest with you because we had no link up in our front line.
When you did that whole massive substitution, when you had 9 players come on, and you started. So you actually started.
He was one of them that came on, yeah.
Yeah, he just literally his first touch, I think, was just a poor touch.
He had a few poor touches, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Sancho. Don't wrong, I like him. But he should never be in a false nine position. He's not that guy. No, he's a winger.
Only when he plays against Arsenal, he should do it. I think he plays well against you and banged a goal.
He hardly did anything, man. We gave him a goal.
Lies. Yeah. We would have dominated the team in that game.
We gave him a goal.
Gave him a goal. Okay, I guess.
Pressure breaks pipes. Pressure bursts pipes, as they say. But no, listen, I hear what you're saying. And for me, Højlund's important. And I know some people out there don't rate him. I personally do. I think he's a tremendous talent. But we need that number 9. We need someone who can hold the goddamn ball up. And that isn't for Rashford. Rashford's okay playing number 9 against the bottom half of the table teams. But last night we were playing against a Real Madrid team. I watched some of the game back today. They had anything between 8 to 9 players sitting behind the ball for large parts of that first half. They played low block and counter against us. And we struggled to break down that team because they've got great footballers, great anticipation, athletic. And what you needed was not just a big lump up front, but you needed somebody with the strength and the ability to hold that ball up and bring people into play. And that was where we were losing it, more than any other area. The playing out from the back was absolutely brilliant. I enjoyed what we did there. And of course, it was a mistake from the manager to bring on to bring Eriksen into the middle when Mainu went off. I was so excited to watch him go up against the Camavingas and the Tchouaméni. He's a real big acid test. He did very well up against the Arsenal midfield the other day, and he was one of the best players on the pitch, and I was a little disappointed about that. But getting that striker in now for Man United is absolutely paramount before the season starts, because I am a little worried that there could be a lack of goals going into the campaign. So yeah, we need the club to get that sorted sooner rather than later, in my opinion, because that's kind of a real area of I still think we've got a great chance of top 4 and progressing, but I don't want him coming in deadline day. I want him for that, there's opening 2, 3, 4 games, because that could, you could end up dropping 6 or 7 points there, which is the difference between a title charge and top 4 finishes. So yeah, we need to get him in sooner rather than later, in my opinion.
Title charge, Man United.
You said great chance of top 4. Well, we won't get into that.
So no, go on. We're talking Man United. You don't think Man United got a chance of top 4?
They have a very big chance of top 4, and they should be aiming for the league and not chance of top 4.
You just want to say that to Bantus.
No, I said it last time I came.
So we shouldn't be aiming. So we shouldn't be aiming
their expectations.
So we shouldn't be trying to win the league.
You should, but you said great chance of top 4. I think you should be talking about chance to win the league, not great chance of top 4. You've nearly spent 400 mil within a year.
Yeah. So what I've said is this. So we haven't spent 400 mil yet because we haven't. Well, we haven't. We spent 200 million last year, and so far this season
243 million.
240 million last year.
That's not. That isn't true. That isn't true. You're doing euros. Convert it. You're doing euros.
Hassan is bad with
last
math.
summer-
I'll tell you that.
Like 108
I've learned
Last
that.
I'm a
summer-
chemical
this
engineer,
summer-
Staffy. Shut your ass up.
It's
So-
more than 300 million. And
But if you're a
you add
mechanical,
Hojlund-
I mean, you being a mechanical engineer doesn't mean that you're still not doing the exchange rate.
Chemical.
Last summer, 143 million euros it was. So yeah, it's not 140 million pound. So the point I'm making is we haven't spent over 200 million this year. So that we're not on 400 yet. We will be by the end of the summer. But like I've just said, I expect us to push for that title. But if we don't get the striker, we don't get the extra midfielder, and we don't get somebody else and spend that 400 million, then my expectations change. If we stop spending now, my expectations are different to if we land them. Like you're kind of, I can't have, what's the word? I'm talking hypotheticals here. I'm saying like if we don't get him, I still think we've got a good chance of top four. With him, I think top four is a shoo-in for Man United next season. I think we'll be a good enough team. Absolutely.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing like us. If we don't get Casado, we're not getting top four. There's no chance of getting top four.
You don't even need top 4. You need top 5. 5th place, you could get it.
Even top 5, man. I don't know. If we don't fill that hole, yeah, it's problems for us.
Lampard got top 4 with a bunch of youngsters. I think Pochettino can do the same. Top 5.
We actually had Jorginho playing CDM though. We've got
Andre
Santos.
Top 5 is all you need. Top 5 is all you need. Remember, you don't need 4th even. 5th.
I mean, we could potentially get it, but what I'm saying is with Casado,
because of the coefficient rating thing.
No, you're right. But what I'm saying is, if we get Casado, it ups our chances of getting top 4 solid. Same thing that Terry's saying about that as well.
Have they updated it next season? So what? Top 5 get Champions League?
Yeah, next season.
Well, unless it's Newcastle, they probably won't have the coefficient for it. It's about you've got to have enough coefficient points. But all the traditional top 6 should all be fine coming 5th. And just to add, Man United's spend in the last 2 years so far up 208 million plus 99 million is 307 million. So you've added nearly 25% to that. Say we spent over
307 million, and if you add Hojlund and Amrabat, you're nearing 370, 380.
Yeah, of course. No, again, 370. That's still 30 million. That's a player short. It'll be 370, and there is expectation us to challenge for that Premier League title. Absolutely. I'm not talking about. I don't think we're the favourites to win it. I'm talking challenge because I don't necessarily think we will be good. City were still the favourites in my opinion. Arsenal were ahead of us. You've spent double that amount of money under your manager. You were in a title race last year, so I expect that Liverpool are not to be written off if they complete this summer well.
Why are you shaking his head? Why are you shaking your head?
That's why I'm shaking my head, yeah. Because before this summer started, yeah, what were we on? About 400 mil. Eric Ten Hag has got that in 12 months. That is insane.
He hasn't got it in 12 months. So far, we spent 309 million.
Yeah, but you're gonna sign more players. You know you are.
Right. Okay. But so it's about how much you spend and not about the amount of time you work with your squad. Is that what we're saying? It's like is that your logic on this?
I think with United, because where Eric Ten Hag picked you guys up from, I know you said it was your lowest place finish, but the squad wise you guys had, I think it's different with Arsenal's time frame.
See, this is where I disagree with you though. Like we spoke about this last week, and I don't want to flog a dead donkey, but the fact that we were predicted last year by nearly every single pundit to not even be in the top 5, most said top 6, some said lower. Most
never gonna let this go.
No, I can't let it. Sam, I can't let it go. I can't let it go when people like Jermaine say, but the squad you inherited was brilliant because nobody last summer, not one rival fan was saying we're brilliant and we were going to have a good season. So there's lies and there's intellectual dishonesty going on here when it comes to Manchester United. It's either a case that we inherited a good squad and people have got to say we're a good team, or we're a bad. What is it? It's half our players are like written off as being trash, but yet we've got a really good squad. And that's so when you go for the Man United squad that he inherited, who are the players that you think are top that should be putting us in title races? Who are they?
Before Eric Ten Hag came in, where'd you finish? 5th, 6th, wherever you guys came. But the season before you but the season before
it was our worst season in 40 years.
But the season before that, didn't you come second? Right. The season before that, you came second.
So we're going 2 years prior.
So let's not change the question. Of our squad last summer, who do you look at as being top class and good enough to win us titles? Who are Man United brilliant players in your opinion that you think are so good that we should be challenging Man City for their title?
I didn't say you should be challenging Man City 2 years ago, but I said the team.
But you said the squad. You said the squad that the manager inherited Okay. Gives him a massive head start, and he spent 300+ million, so he should be challenging. Who are the players that he inherited that you think are good enough to win titles?
When I saw Eric Ten Hag walk into Man United, I saw 70 mil fly to Casemiro. I saw Sancho that was already there. He brought in 70 mil.
You talked about the squad he inherited.
The team of players.
Again, I want your opinion.
Talk about the
guys, I don't care what we spend.
I'm talking about the team of players.
No, but your opinion is that he inherited a good squad. So forget what we spent. Who are the players remaining here now that he inherited that are good enough to win us the league? I just want to hear you praise my players that you think
you're
win us the
changing the
league.
question though, because I didn't
No,
say
I'm not changing the question. I'm not changing the question. Your question.
I didn't say they were good enough to win the league. I said Eric Ten Hag picked up a much better squad.
Let me change it then. Let me phrase it more to what you said. Let me say it some more to what you said then. So you said that he inherited a really good squad. What players did he inherit that you look at as being brilliant that make him have a really good base squad? Who are those players?
I don't need to single out specific United.
You can. Yeah, so why would you make that statement? Why would you make that statement?
I think the point.
But you're the one who's making the point. I'm sorry, Jermaine, but you're the one who's making the point. Jermaine, you're the one who's making the point, not us. You're making the point that he inherited a good squad, but yet you can't name the individual players.
Okay, I'll name them. I will name them.
Jermaine, I was going to say, you trying to sort of like just say as your.
Let Jermaine do it. I want to hear it. Sorry, go on.
Cool. So who did Eric Ten Hag, not who he signed, who he actually inherited? Inherited.
That's what you said, yeah.
Cool. Ronaldo was there. I'm not sure if Cavani was there or not, but Sancho was there. Rashford was there. Bruno was there.
Don't tell me about no Sancho, because in the group chat every day you slander this man. So don't tell me Sancho was there.
Bro,
you slander this guy. Don't tell me Sancho. Don't tell me Sancho. Let's not do that.
Bro, I know I got to you with the Chelsea comments, but me and Terry are talking, bro. Stop that.
Yeah. But the thing is, you can't change the narrative that you had at the time, though. You can't change the narrative of how you thought about it.
She's going to say the hair squad too.
Guys, let Jermaine explain himself.
Let me just land my point. Listen, Jermaine's my boy, yeah, and I'm in a group chat. So I'm in a group chat with him, yeah. And this man slanders Sancho and finds a way to always compare him to Saka. Always comparing him to Saka, slanders him. Now you've got the cheek to try and mention him in players that they had at the time that he inherited, as if you rated him. You didn't rate him, bro. You did not rate this guy.
Jermaine, if I can insert, the point you're trying to say was you saying that Eric Ten Hag inherited a better squad than what Arsenal had when Arteta came in, and you're trying to 100%. Say that he hasn't flipped it around, or he's had a better base to flip it around than what Arteta had. Is that what you're trying to say?
What I mean by inherited as well, maybe it's the wrong word to use, but even his first summer window, bro, you guys brought in big money players. Anthony, his former player.
Well, they had Champions League, so
you brought in Casemiro. These are ready-made, top quality players. Varane was there. Martinez.
What is your overarching point, though, to that?
Yeah, what does that mean?
My overarching point, which Terry even agrees with me in saying, is United should be challenging.
No, but that's why I'm confused, because I've said we should be challenging if we land the remaining players, and then you're kind of challenging me, but you agree with me, so I don't get the challenge.
No, see, I agree with you, but I just don't like the Arsenal comparison when people talk about Arteta spend, because what Arsenal started from.
I didn't bring that up. I didn't bring that up.
When you said big chance of top four, he's saying top four should be minimal, essentially. That's what he means.
Yeah, 100%. And I agree. I was just making the point that if we don't get this striker, I still think we'll make top four, but we need him to put us nearer to a title challenge. There's no doubt. But there's always going to be comparisons. Because everybody's desperate for their rebuild to be voted or looked at as the best. But my take on it is just this. We'll review it in 4 or 5 years' time, and whoever has the most trophies had the best rebuild, irrespective of spend and net spend and what you inherited. Because also when you inherit a squad, the league standings can be different. The teams that are at their best could be very different from the teams. We all know that there's been champions that have not been as good as previous champions, right? There's been top four contenders who have been better or worse than previous top four contenders. So you have to factor all of that in. And it's really difficult to do to come to a consensus. So how do you rank the best performing team or the best rebuild over a period of time? Highest league finishes and trophies. That's it. I feel like
what Jermaine's actually trying to say, right, is Eric Ten Hag has been backed and is going to get backed again. So after the season that he had last year, where you saw positive signs of what to come, that you guys should be expecting more now that he's going to spend again. I think that's the overarching point he's trying to make.
Listen, Terry agrees with me in it, so we're on the same page. But I just can't take United fans not having high standards and making excuses when they're spending the same or similar amounts to Man City and they're watching them win all these trophies. But Terry agrees with me in it. So
speak on it, Jermaine. That's the reality.
It's the reality. I'm tired of the excuses and watching others win big clubs.
They've actually spent more money than Man City in the last 5 years.
You're spending too much money. You guys should be winning the top trophies and aiming for the title. That's my opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, look, and we're aiming to get back there, and they're the expectations. However, we were in a awful place and position when Ten Hag came in, and yeah, we came second the year before. But this is what I mean by the narrative changes. But I'll never forget when we came second. Every single rival in this country that I spoke to said it was a false second. It was because everybody else was bad. So they didn't say at the time we were the second best team in England. And that's the problem, is the intellectual dishonesty that comes. 1 minute the squad's crap. When it achieves something, well, you should be doing that. It's a great squad. Those two arguments can't exist at the same time and be credible. But we're going to go to some super